I've seen in your bio that your career started in 2009. So when were you born?
1991.
1991. Okay. Ngikushaya one year. Uyintwana kimi. When I was born, bebasaplana. But yeah.
Bengisasesiswini nje ufuna ukuthini bese ngibruyile.
So when's your birthday?
On the 8th of December.
8th of December.
Yeah.
Yo, which means no. Actually, when I was born, they were making you. Because when I'm in March. No.
March.
That's the next year. 8th of December. So you were almost in 1992.
Yeah. Almost.
Okay. Almost in 1992.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's dope. So when did you start school? Alex bacala bana 5.
Uyazi vele sihlezi sishesha vele kahle but mina vele bengise pacing ya wonke umuntu yabona ngicale vele crash and then yeah kuna 7
7 okay oh yeah ngoba uzalwe December so
yeah
no yeah so how do you get left behind in grade 1? You didn't start when you were 6 and then again when all your broers are signed on all these big major deals, now you get left behind and then you stay independent. Like what's wrong?
No nje uyazi ukuthi for me na dog like I believe like working I believe ngendlela yami ngakhona, you understand? Like I believe in my craft, you understand? Ngifuna ukwenza izinto ngendlela yami, you understand? And I believe in myself so much that that's why I had stayed like an independent artist for a very long time. Yeah, because I listen to list about mediocre, izinto vele bengashanga ngabo. So a lot of times I figured that in order to upload up on these social medias or whatsoever, to like abantu benza intonyana ezibhedayo yabona. So I also didn't want
more cloud chasing type stuff.
Exactly. So I wanted to truly represent music and who I really am. Angisumuntu loud or papa or kanjani, understand? Okay. So yeah, like ngumuntu, what you see now, the conversations that we've been having, that's who I am.
Oh so, no, that's dope. Man.
Yeah, so for me na growth yami nakhona it's ngathi I jumpanga kakhulu njenga wonke umuntu. Because of my character.
So did you not feel left behind though when you saw all your peers that you started with or even some that started after you just becoming bigger than obviously JOSIAH, because we first got introduced to you as part of a group.
Yeah.
And the group was named after you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're the disciples.
Yeah.
And then after that, when you went solo as well, we just felt like, ish, maybe Ipiariam Shaya or something like. People say those things. Like, how did that affect you?
Ngizitholile lezo zinto ezinjalo, I understand. Ukuthi nakhona lezo zinto masicala senzakala, there was just a whole lot of cloud judgment. It was after the split. I was still also trying to like adjust to things, you know, while I was also like one man actually throughout the whole entire process, like I still am even now, you understand? While Abafwetu, they were a group of people.
Okay, no, I get it. They were a crew, so they were a crew.
Exactly.
And when you were the one guy, the lone wolf.
Yeah, one. So when it comes to using Doguti, people were blowing up fast. Yes, as umuntu, it gets you. That I will not lie. As umuntu, it gets you good. You know what? Maybe there's something wrong I'm doing. You understand? Maybe you end up really even doubting yourself. You understand? But I had to pick myself up. I had to really think back. Ukuthi phela bengi 9 to 5. Before ngithatha lento le serious.
No, but boop. Can you say?
Yeah, I can. My first work ngihlanganisele olady vele ngama internship.
Okay.
Yabo bengine internship esipane so lady. Ayibathazwakala. So kule span lesi besi rotator, so you can understand the company holistically ukuthi njani yabo. So it was a factory, but they sell print stuff, ama cartridges, printing machines,
toners.
Exactly, yeah. So saqala factory you pack and then luckily I landed at the call center at the sales department. So throughout that whole internship, we were learning marketing, sales management. So with that, ngathola i-button certificate. Then from the company. Then I got lebe kuyinhlanhla.
Okay.
This lady besihlala
But you had a
sonke kasi.
certificate.
Yeah, no,
so you were prepared for the luck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yabona. Ukuthi yabona ezinye izinto mazenzakala emhlabeni. We actually don't even realize them that you are actually being prepared. Yabona. So now kind of like now that we speak about it, kana ngibona ukuthi actually yeah, bebangilungisa kahle during that process. But this lady from Mikaslami, her name is Wendy. She helped me out. Bebafuna umuntu esipanini sakhe. Isipanini sakhe a marketing
company.
That's how I got that job.
You were
Like
prepared for it?
Marangela, ngasend CV, ngasenda yonke into. They prepared me for an interview. Mangi available. It's always been something I've always wanted to do. I became a social media specialist at that current job.
Okay.
So I pushed it for around 2 years or 3 years, I think. But while I was doing that, we had Jazzi disciples. So while the piano was still growing,
Okay, hold on. Did you guys start with piano? I just want to know, like as Jazzi disciples.
Okay, no.
Because the music that I heard some demos before, and they didn't sound like the piano that I noted.
Particularly me, Nangiwane.
Yeah.
I'm from a tribal background. Bengenzi Afro.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
During Velinka, the song Basa. I got a lot of inspiration actually from him.
Okay, no, that explains why some of the stuff your earlier stuff is not piano.
Yeah, it
okay,
wasn't piano. Yeah. I started feeling era le yabo takapo, the song. So yeah, that whole transition came when MFR Souls, the actual pioneers of the sound.
No, I know them. I know them from East Rand.
So that's when we started linking up Ndibo Kabza. So that's when everything changed.
And then, did you ever play at bus stop?
Bus stop?
Yeah, at Oslo.
At Oslo, bus stop? No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Where did you play? No, I don't think it's still around. But where did you play? Like at where you say that you made a name for yourself, where people would be like, yo.
Ekasi obviously Alex Langkhulele Corner.
The name of the venues?
Heritage Corner.
Heritage Corner. I want us to shout out the venues because, like, a lot of the kids don't understand that the venues play a role in creating the brands of the artists as well, because people go to the venues without knowing who you are.
Yeah. Heritage Corner, I'm food Tumelo at that time. I was still like an Afro
DJ, that's Mr. Jazzi.
Mr. Jazzi, yeah. Bengsase producer Afro but I had already been gaining momentum because of the mixing and production at the time, but I was still just sharpening my skill. I think I was also a bit closer to Abushim's at that time because they used to come often by Joe's Butcher. We used to have fun times actually there. So Besbabona live every Sunday. So we used to also grab some bit of inspiration from Bona. See, so lento ba yenze Joe's Butcher. Besithatha thina so yenza le Heritage Corner.
Okay. Benkopa.
Yeah, what
inspired, but it's inspiration. That's it.
Yeah, I'm saying like we used to grasp so much inspiration from those sets konalapha. Sambe so zama thina le Heritage Corner.
Yeah.
So that's how I actually built my name, Ekasi. Before the Amapiano came in, before ngicala producer piano myself.
Okay, and how important is that, like, to build your home ground advantage before uye emazweni or uya kwamanye amagasi nje?
It's really important because of gula support yakho kakhulu. That's where you're gonna rely so much on your support. That's where you first test ukuthi, am I moving in the right direction? So
obviously ekas lako, zino nezinye ngeke, and then you prove a point to them, and then you're like.
I wonder like futhi inkulumo ezinjalo yizo ezokutshela ukuthi what actually ehle ngenza into egrand.
So okay, you built up a crew of haters ekaslako, and then those haters ended up becoming admirers because their girlfriends wanted to come to the show. Obviously, I mean that's how it works, ne?
Yeah, even njalo ukuthi izinto ezenzakala in the background wena ukwawe.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's dope. That's dope. Spuda.
Ladies and gentlemen, his name is Josiah Makwela, ne?
Makwela.
Oh, Makwela, not Mukwele. Because there is a Mukwele surname.
Oh yeah, there is.
In the north, yeah. Kemobedi. So in the north there's Mukwele and there's Makwela as well. Popularly known as Josiah the Disciple, and I know some of you guys look at Raman Khurman war por. But it's important, guys, we're on the internet. When I was overseas, they never asked me about anybody from SABC1 or from ETV. They asked me about people from the internet. They asked me about Nota, they asked me about Penuel. They even asked me about Make G and Slick Talk. America, guys. So that's the power of the internet. So let us not forget the new audience that is being introduced into these guys and into this Amapiano sound that is blowing up all over the world. So just to give you a bit of a background, I wouldn't call him necessarily an Amapiano DJ. He started Afro, as he was saying, giving just the background and how he started out. But obviously he plays everything. He's a producer, responsible for also being one of the pioneers of the Amapiano genre, and coming from the house side, from the tribal side, Culoe, Shimza, of course. And from getting his start as a dancer, I didn't know he was a dancer. He's always followed the path of being a rhythm and music. He didn't know that he would become, this big. His breakthrough year as a producer came in 2012 as he later shot to fame as part of the prolific Jazzi Disciples. I know some of you guys call it Jazzi Disciples, as Nota was asking. Citing Culoe, the song as an influence, the group crafted Amapiano soundscapes that drew from deep, soulful, and tribal house music. Josiah's production contribution to Kila Kau's Santin received a nomination for Best Amapiano Record for 2019 Dance Music Awards in South Africa. With the duo's success under his belt, the Alexandra-born artist embarked on a solo career in 2020. 2 EPs followed with the release of the vocally driven Umbuso Wabamnyama alongside Ubuhle and JNL Nostalgia with Lennon Perks. Josiah's debut album, Spirits of Makwela, would see him take the forefront, and its second installment, Spirits of Makwela, Volume 2, the reintroduction, received critical acclaim. I can just go on and on and on. He's worked with everybody: Moonchild Sanily, Casper Nyovest, Lady Zama, Kabza the Small, Saudi Soul. Jeez, you worked with Saudi Soul?
Yeah.
From Kenya? Yeah. Oh, that's my favorite band, bro.
We actually have a song. We worked on that song when we were still Jazzi Disciples. So the song has still not been released yet.
You have to drop it, bro.
We have to.
I love those guys, man.
Actually,
I'm a
how
big
many
fan.
songs do you have that you haven't released? Like, if you just estimate.
Yo, it's quite a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
So you got a whole library of unreleased music.
Unfinished beats.
Okay.
Unreleased, unfinished beats.
Yo,
quite a lot.
Bengizamxoxela behind the scenes ngithi wena ufana njengamna ngithi ngiphethe iflavor yemufa orange mfana nayi lapha efridge nani ngishayele round kwami ngiphethe nenye ye grape mara mamufa ayagcwele efridge kwami mara ngwa release awami nje agcwele endlini. Like, release the damn music, Mr. Jazzi Disciples.
I see like a good reason why sometimes you want to keep a lot in the archive. Like, I understand both sides of things. Like, you've released how many? This is your 6th album now.
6th album.
Okay, so he's released quite a bit of music. I mean, there's quite a library of music.
Oh, he must release more, bro.
Yeah, you must.
How many
more.
albums has Chris Brown put out? How many albums did Mam Rebecca Malope put out?
Yeah.
Mam Rebecca Malope, I think she's on a 32nd album, if not 34th album.
No,
so you can't stop.
Yeah, you can't stop
that's
releasing. So what about taking that music and that library and traveling the world and finding other artists outside of South Africa, maybe outside of even Africa, that you could maybe help finish off that music? Maybe there's some ideas that are just not of, the current environment that you could find elsewhere.
So, thanks to Amapiano, that like our African brothers and sisters, we are like gelling properly now, besides the politics, you know.
Musically.
So, and that Amapiano has opened so many opportunities for all of us. In fact, I'm just gonna put it like that. And me now, on my side, like I get like yokusebenza nama OGs industry nangaswa, but what's one
An old spirit. You do no seriously. Like I'm from listening to your music. I won't lie. Like an old soul. Yeah.
Also, I met Uleri. We also met back in Nigeria. We met I keep forgetting his name, but he's an OG by music.
Not Two-Face.
Two-Face.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
What a lovely brother.
Yeah.
Very humble brother.
Yeah.
Very humble brother.
Sahlala, we were in studio actually. Ngamhlulisanya ingoma Z2 ngabasendela ama samples. So those are the kind of opportunities Amapiano has opened for a lot of us, you know. And for me now, when that opportunity ivela, I started going back to my archives, fixing them, and just keeping them ready for Abo Two-Face.
Okay. Another.
So in thing I just try and keep in contact. Yo, my brother, I've got samples here. Do you have artists that side that can jump on a piano?
Okay.
So that's what I'm keeping in conversation. That's what we're constantly talking about.
So NOTA says this is the year I should get my #1 single. He's busy pushing me to go back to the studio. So I've been saying to NOTA, anyway, not to NOTA actually. Who have I been speaking to about you to? I think Ulebza. So Ulebza, I think Ulebza.
The villain.
Asimlethe ku-interview. Give him something. At least I want to let us something to the table.
Yeah.
And then bese nakada on camera ushaya zikazola 7. Umthayile ngama-camera ukuthi mfethu ngicela ukuspana nawe.
In 3 days, make my dream come true.
I think what makes me happy with you is your experience from the house side. And just how you've seamlessly blended it into kids know you as an Amapiano guy, but actually they don't know you come from our era, from the house side.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people who've been able to do that. Well, it's Maporisa, but it's not everybody else, you know? You're one of the few, and just your taste in sound and just the cleanliness of it, just that soul, the maturity of your sound is amazing, and I'm a big fan. That's why I was very honored.
And I'm being manging. I want to ask him a question though.
No, you must answer me first.
No, before he goes there,
Okay.
what are your top 5 R&B artists from the 90s?
Top 5.
Top 5 R&B.
Yo, angazi if lento le R&B or ipalat or because young
even
into
ipalat,
ipalat. Top 5. Kono lo uli Baby's Born ubani?
Babies.
A Baby's Born.
James Ingram.
James Ingram.
Okay.
James Ingram.
Okay.
That's it. That's my type of music.
Okay. You see,
That's my type of music.
now answer the question. If we've got some James Ingram samples that we can clear or something like that, will that open up an opportunity? I know we haven't gone through the top 5, but people can see from that sort of taste in music. You know, do you think you'd maybe allow yourself to then collaborate with some of the older house DJs and producers?
I'm
on that tip?
Yeah, I would. I would definitely do that. I mean, it's music at the end of the day. It's not just about piano pela. So that's what I'm gonna solely focus on. When we in studio, we are there to create music. We are not there like more. How do we go PC? I would decide to write like more. So you just let the music take control, you know. So if Spoo comes through, we'll see what we make. But I know we'll work on something great.
Not if. When.
Oh, okay. Let me fix it. When he comes through.
So you grew up on this side of the M1, and now you live on the other side of the M1, on the other side of William Nicol. Actually, you understand? So how has it been traversing, being from Sandton View, aka Alexandra, to actually now living in Sandton, Suburbia?
For now, I've always been I've always never been like Culoe so just a love for music, but if it's not that, then I'm always home. So for now there isn't really much of a difference being outside of Alex and Foyes, because I'm always at home. I'm always at home.
So you never played soccer or?
It's what's about Alex Khujwang? Yeah. Home is just here. Gate.
Okay.
And back to the house.
So you are a homebody. So it's like the Kasi life of walking in the streets up until whatever AM, you know, blomming with the homies, that's never been your life. So it was very easy to adjust to Suburbia and just being to yourself.
I think also I was fortunate because I was fortunate a lot of times. The time I had ban shapa ka PC da wabo. So hakis was scale, you know, you still excited. Laptop or PC, you know, that kind of stuff excites you so much. So that's why I never really used to spend so much time outside. Go PC, get downloadable the virtual DJ, just to
Learn and
practice. That's when I also like my production skills. Maybe go my 2009. So that's why I can't really say like I used to go out. I was always at home.
And then now, when you're making music, yeah,
it's true though. Most dope producers are very introverted.
They're homebodies. Yeah, that's why I mean, I'm not a dope producer.
There's also another dope producer.
I like being outside. I'm sorry.
Technique. Yeah, it sounds like a technique.
Yeah.
He's dope.
It's dope.
He's also a homebody.
I call them studio rats.
A good-looking guy. Skin salon.
Yeah. So now you're making music, saying Aryan Sentin. Like, what were you trying to prophesize, or what were you, you know, when you guys were all in the studio together? I know obviously you worked with the late Kilakau on that. I think there's also Buntle, right?
Yeah.
Buntle Smith, I think.
Oh, Buntle Smith, yeah.
Yeah, and
did you work with Buntle Smith
on that song?
No. So with that, I've never worked on that particular song. I mean, Aryan Sentin.
Yeah.
No, not on that song.
Okay, so they included it in your bio.
No, I don't know why, but I didn't work on the song. But there's a whole lot of like other street type of music that I've worked with, you know, with the likes of Focalistic.
Okay.
There was a song, Black, that he once featured us on.
Black
Yeah, Shido.
I love that song.
But yeah, it was, you know, house panali mutomo, you know. While you're working, you both share ideas.
Yeah.
So you bring different energies into the table. Even though I'm a like soulful type of person. And to energy ya motho mong ke yone diverting sound wa bona. So really three are kopani Jazzi, Foka, and myself. Neretsa vele strat. So yeah,
so that's more that strata music.
It's more of that strata music.
Okay. So now TikTok. Love it or hate it? I'm just like, personally, do you love it or do you hate it? From a personal perspective. I'll ask about the business side of things.
Okay.
When it comes to TikTok.
I hate it. I love it, I hate it.
It makes your music famous though.
But it also spoils it. It also spoils it.
How?
Because,
How?
Too much of something.
And they take the snippets that they choose, and when
the actual song is released, a lot of times on Fridays, even like you notice even this Friday, the peanuts it's on TikTok, on Twitter, it's like it's quiet. It's no longer it does no longer have that bias in 2021, 22. Yeah, no, this song TikTok has killed all of that. Because now we get excited, we that we are being fed all of in every second slide, or 1, 2, it's the song. How it's the same song. So by the time it's released, you don't even see any. Maybe it's like downloader for TikTok, but I mean, and it's another thing that's like a disadvantage about TikTok. Now we are making songs that live there, and we are making songs that are gonna live in another platform. It's like that's how it is. Like that's how we think now when we're in studio.
So there's that duality.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
But why haven't you made TikTok songs then? Like why? Like you don't want money or what?
No, it's not about having money. Just that I really want my sound to be there. I feel like I don't need to change who I am in order to be there. If people, I want people to really accept me for who I am, and I'm really doing as much as I can to push, and I'm doing that through music. I'm trying to talk to people through music. The music that I'm making, I always believe that there's just that young audience that's always there for any type of genre. And for me, I believe even in Amapiano, even though styles are sincerely different, I have my people that actually really, really dig this.
So that's why I want to ask, the 2-minute intros, like when are the songs ever gonna start? Like, like your song has like
this is when NOTA exposes himself for being a hip hop head.
No, I enjoy the long intro because can I tell you why? Like I used to hate the fact that being a hip hop head, the hip hop guys, they ruined it where we'd only hear one verse of the song in the club. I mean, I want to rap along to the whole entire song. So when you came about and a lot of other producers that sound similar to you, you changed the behavior of the DJs. You know what I mean? They started having long intros in their songs, long songs.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are taking that credit and that buzz right now, but it wasn't popular when you were doing it.
It wasn't, and Amapiano was actually the first guy to do it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I became a fan. I was like, I love because I just love like listening to the intro, like the song starting, the progression, because I feel like I get to be transported into the studio with you, and I see where the ideas start coming about. Like, now these are he's trying something. He's experimenting. He's taking it in this direction. And then by the time the song starts, I then have to ask myself, is it what I expected? Is it better than what I expected? Or is it something different from what I expected? But it's like a whole entire journey. So tell us about taking that risk in the streaming era when, the first 30 seconds determine whether you get a stream or not. And a lot of people skip.
So the idea behind creating the intro tele, I was always hoping for, maybe they'll play it in movies. I want the movie at the fella. Maybe but
you're a big dreamer, piano in a movie.
It will happen.
No, I'm just saying, but like this was when you were starting. Just like the idea. How are you thinking? I'm gonna be in Hollywood movies one day when the credits roll.
Thing is, when you listen to the intro, it's the orchestra, it's the string, it's soft. So also the idea behind it was just to show people what a piano album would also look like. It's not dancing to the string, ling. We feel like afro. It can be done anyway. And my whole idea was just to infuse my background, which is afro, the piano.
Oh no, man, that's amazing.
Have you had a chance to work with your favorite artist who's inspired you, Culoe?
Not yet, but we've met a couple of times.
Nice.
We've met and shook hands a couple of times at gigs at Wish in Durban, Coffee, Midrand.
Nice.
Those were the two occasions.
After
that
this
we met.
podcast, it's going to happen.
Yo, no.
And Culoe's my boy as well. I've never done music with you, Culoe. Let's make it happen. So I interviewed Aries. And
I love that interview.
off
By the way.
camera, Aries tells me this is a week before AKA passes on. He tells me he's looking forward to an AKA not only collabo, he says collaboration project. He says that is his dream. He says that a few days before AKA passes on. Then AKA passes on. No, now I'm still going to live for many years to come. But I'm just saying, corner. I'm looking forward to getting into Stu, not JOSIAH. And
it would be a
for
dream
me,
come true.
Alexandra, umamncane wethembisa. At the same time, umalume waseSoweto. At the same time, umntana khabo katlehong. Or baphuma ejardini eliwane no spread view type of thing, like lamakasi langasemaduzane. And even our upbringings are similar. Even our language, you'd really have to be from Joburg to tell apart a person from Zola from a person from Pimville. But it's also Soweto. You'd really you have to be from Joburg to tell apart a person from Mdavo Davidson or a place from umuntu wasethembisa ozokhuluma a different. But if you're not from Joburg, like sikhuluma ngokufana sonke, it's esitavanayo nje. And for me, I just loved the fact that since back in the days of Zola, there was just this quite a dominance from Abomdu, Abomandoza, Abomzambia. Like it was just Joburg guys. And I liked the fact that at some point the music proved that no, it's not only Joburg people that are meant to be successful. Anybody from anywhere in the country can. Eastern Cape held it down with Afro soul, Afro pop, whatever you want to call it, till today, and they're amazing.
Yeah.
And all the other Durban, geez, KZN has been killing it for quite some time. But when you guys, Nabo Kabza, and because Menangeting is Pumede shows, so now
Is Lombardi part of Alex?
Sorry.
Is Lombardi part of Alex?
Yeah, obviously.
Or Alex Plus?
Alex Plus.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say, Uti,
Deep extension.
finally for me as a music fan, even if for years where I was not participating, I'm in the scene rooting for all of you, for all of you guys. Finally, like ngathi title elibuyile kaSlame Jozi, you know, ukubona nina abo guys I chose especially nazirock anyachazeka. But it doesn't mean that we love anybody else from outside less. But for me, I just love it when abantu ukuthi bakhule ku background efana neyalapha like grand niphume kaSlame. Alex kufana nokuthi kuse kaSlame. Ngikhule nabo shona bayithu base kaSlame. Obviously, I don't think you'd know them because mina ngigrowed generation before you guys. Abo shona bayithu khona umunye ushona bokushona uVet. Clever, bokusho no ikari, boku outzambe ngimuva nabo kudala ngisesintwana ngisafunda negaming yawo Alex.
No Sean Pages was Alex.
No Shono Mnyama. Ocean Pages from Alex, ne? No Shono Mnyama. Mina ngikhuluma ngeclever ke zase Alex dala.
No Eltido, no Paba.
Eltido's from Alex. Oh, I don't know. But anyway, it's just beautiful, man, to have seen you, the work that you've done with all these guys, the collaborations that you've done. But also, you just keep a low profile. What is it about you with this low profile that you keep and all of the success that you've had? But you've been in the game now for a solid decade.
Yeah. Sure. That's why I just want people to know me for the music, honestly. No other attachments between it. Honestly. That's why that's what in key priority yaka. You know what? I'm gonna live through music. And I could talk about music. I go lifestyle. It's not really who I am. The kino ba represent a fella sound okay but it's not really who I really am.
And another thing you and Sbuda have in common, you guys are both girl dads. How is that?
We're both what?
Girl dads.
Oh, girl dads. Oh. That's dope, my man.
How has that been, being a girl dad, you know? Because when we listen to a lot of the music, we're hearing songs of emasculation, especially from young men. And then when we hear from a lot of the young women, we're hearing songs of empowerment. So there's that duality that we're seeing in our society. And how do you think your role as a father is to shepherd your daughter into this world where she now needs to understand what is actually going on?
It's a very important role, but nakona ntongwen tusang khapaya is the fact that every time I'm in student making music, she's there, so she knows what type of messages I'm trying to say. So if like she has
showing her by example.
Exactly. Understand? There's other types of music that you can actually really enjoy without any other distractions in between.
Yeah.
So she sees that her dad lives through that, and I am that. I'm just really trying to be an example of, you know what, just be yourself, block the noise, and you'll go far.
And then she doesn't get jealous of the music?
No, she actually does. She actually does.
Away from daddy. Or say the music is taking daddy away from her. Yeah.
She does, but she understands, because these kids these days, you constantly have to explain. You constantly have to explain.
I remember when I was 4 years old, don't worry.
Yeah, you constantly have to explain. You can't just time and not so avaya. Seroto utlwa ka moledi gore ai o ile spanning or o ile eng. Because now we spend so much time together now, you have to constantly be there and explain that, you know what, I'm going away for work. So the other day I had CDJs in the studio. So I was explaining, this is what daddy does on weekends. When I'm saying I'm going to work, I do this and people go crazy on the floor. So I was just explaining
so
to
that
her.
she believes you.
Yeah, so she can see and believe,
Okay, no, that's
so yeah, that's just my way of just trying to let her stay grounded. Because also, I'm living in when I go to grieve, I see everything. So it's very important keep a thing for you.
Yeah, exactly. You want to make sure that you're the first one to buy an ice
yeah.
cream, take her to the movies, take her on a date, show her the palazzo. You
First, before.
Yeah, before. Okay, no, that's nice. That's lovely.
Bro, I'm happy to meet you, and I love your spirit.
Thank you so much.
I would just like to see you rise and rise, and your success get bigger. May God bless you. You're an incredible dude.
Thank
I'm
you so
looking
much.
forward to having you here for a bigger interview, part 2. Let's give it another 6-9 months.
Okay.
And let's take all of that success and achievements, and let's come back here and sit for a bigger session with NOTA and everybody else, probably even an audience.
Okay.
But what we've done today is organize some decks, so you can just bless us with a set.
Please, we are fans. I gotta be. But you know, if you bless us with a set, we'll get enough subscribers, enough viewers, and then next time we'll pay you.
I know kulega lengizoyishamala bafethu
Ngicela ukukhuthazela ama-gents asaphanda in their back rooms out there abaphushayo abafuna ukufana nawe one day.
guys,
Babheke naba yiya amajita.
oh sanibonani
Nabo sestere sure.
sanibonani JOSIAH disciple mfana komtown vele akukhulula ngizonitshela istory sami kancane bafethu ne ngicale vele i-bedroom studio kadi top za DVD besilokhu sichange endlini ma upgrade isound yasendlini nami kusho nami studio sami se upgrade ngoba ngiyazi ngiyosebenzisa le speaker bebazisebenzisa vele yabona but lento le yazange ngichange anyway. I kept pushing because of I know end goal yami. So bambelele push ephupheni lakho, be strong, have faith, uzophumelela now.
And believe in yourself. Like,
So
I love
much.
how you believe
So
in
much.
yourself
You
and
have
how
to.
stuck
You
to
have
it.
to. You
And
have
keep those
to.
intros long, brother. I love them. Trust me, Hans Zimmer is going to give you a call one of these days. Like, trust me. Like,
Shut
Hans
up.
Zimmer, that's the guy. He's going to give you a call. For those intros.
Thank you for blessing us.
Thank you so much. I know
Okay.
Thank you.